This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on National Handloom Day, major initiatives and schemes for handloom sector. The participants are Vinay Kumar, political analyst, and Anubha Rohatgi, banker.
From Patola and Bandhani of Gujarat to Mekhla Chadar and Gamusa of Assam, from Maheshwari and Chanderi of Madhya Pradesh to Sambalpuri of Odisha, from Banarsi silk of Uttar Pradesh to the Kanjivaram of Tamil Nadu and Pochampalli of Telangana, and many, many more. India is a land of rich handloom heritage, and today, August 7th, is being celebrated across the country as National Handloom Day. First celebrated in 2015, the date was chosen as an ode to the Swadeshi movement, which was launched on August 7th, 1905, to encourage indigenous industries and in particular handloom weavers and to boycott foreign goods. To talk about the significance, the initiatives and schemes and other aspects related to the sector, I'm now joined by political analyst Vinay Kumar. Vinayji, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Vinayji, today is the 9th Handloom Day. While India has a vast, rich and centuries-old tradition of handloom weaving, the sector also has an economic significance. How important is the contribution of the handloom sector in our economy?
Anubhaji, if we talk about National Handloom Day celebrations today, which were inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi, and the significance of this sector in overall economic scheme of things on the national level, you see Prime Minister Modi himself said that every small enterprise can sell its project through a portal launched by the government. And at present, about 1.75 lakh MSMEs are associated with this portal, and also one district, one product scheme which was launched by the government a few years ago to promote the unique products of different districts in the country. That has also helped in growth of this sector. And Prime Minister said that the textile industry has reached at 1,30,000 crore rupees, and more than 600 textile clusters have been opened across the country. And moreover, Anubhaji, if we see, this is a sector where you don't need very large investments and you don't need very, very fine skills and machineries to promote this sector. Handloom signifies the importance of our human resources, which we don't lack. And as you mentioned, this is a centuries-old rich heritage of our country, which has been brought forward. And ever since Prime Minister Modi, first marked this day in 2015. So this practice has continued since then. And this initiative also shows the seriousness of the government for spreading awareness about the significance of the handloom sector and the contribution of this community of weavers which are engaged in this field. And economically, as we also know, that large number of women are also involved in this sector. So this has a direct impact on improving the economic conditions of women in our country. And as I told you, that this is pegged at 1,30,000 crore rupees, and so many hundreds of textile clusters across the country have been opened. So economically, this is a low-cost sector which can do wonders if promoted seriously. And if the efforts of the past 7-8 years are taken forward more seriously, I think economic footprint of this sector will be quite significant.
The weavers, most often than not, are self-employed. From that perspective, how do you view the role of this industry in encouraging not only self-employment, but also providing employment to lakhs of people, to thousands of people? You yourself mentioned just now that women especially play a very significant role. In fact, according to one estimate, over 70% of all weavers and allied workers are women in our country. So how important is this sector from the point of view of providing employment opportunities today?
Anubhaji, as you mentioned, that nearly 70% of the workers in this sector who are engaged today consist of women. And this is also, very good opportunity, very key opportunity, crucial opportunity to express our support also towards them and their empowerment. And if you see, if one woman is employed in one cluster, she is not the only one. She can attract other women from her own village, from her own small town, who can work on these looms, handlooms. So this multiplies the employment opportunities in this informal sector, and largely government is trying to bring it into a very, very organized fashion, but largely it remains unorganized in many rural pockets of our country, as you mentioned, from Varanasi to Trivandrum, from Gujarat to Northeast. This is spread across the country. So employment opportunities are enormous and at very low cost, where you don't have to travel very far. You can get employment near your home. There will be no transportation costs. You can spend hours in weaving a piece of cloth or a sari, and there is no compulsion for one to go and look for some other forms of employment if you are skilled in this sector. So I think employment opportunities in this sector are very good, and as the government is making serious efforts to promote it further, so I think it will go a long way in further strengthening and promoting this sector, which is so crucial for our country's economy, not only economy, our culture also, our heritage also, and its projection on the world platform.
Today, there is so much awareness and emphasis on sustainable development, and concepts such as upcycling, slow fashion are being adopted. In fact, the theme this year for the National Handloom Day is Handlooms for Sustainable Fashion. Encouraging and promoting the handloom industry, which mostly uses natural fibers and traditional techniques that have a minimal environmental impact, becomes even more crucial, don't you think, to deal with the rising impact of climate change?
Very correct, because handloom textiles are produced, as you said, using natural fibers and traditional techniques, which India has seen over the past so many centuries, which have minimal environmental impact, because very less of such machineries or such products are used which will pollute the environment and which will have a negative effect on our environment. And as you see what kind of climate changes are taking place across the globe. So this becomes very crucial that this initiative for spreading awareness of the significance of the handloom sector, contribution of weavers, and the importance of this sector in promoting sustainable development, as sustainable development goals have been defined by the United Nations. And so India is part of it. So if these SDGs have to be adhered to, so I think handloom sector can play a very, very vital role in that. Even jute fibers, cotton fibers, and even bamboo is also being used now. So they can go a long way in promoting this sector, and our country does not lag in such natural fibers. Only thing is that we have to promote them. We have to make people aware that these products are sourced from our country indigenously. These raw materials are available in our country, and our artisans are so skilled as to compete it on the world platform on any stage.
In fact, given the climate of our country, the natural fibers, like you mentioned, jute and other cotton, they are much more suitable to our country, and therefore we should be adopting more and more handloom products, even for our day-to-day attire.
Very correct. If you go back in time, as you were saying, August 7, 1905, when the Swadeshi movement was launched in Kolkata, then it was spearheaded by Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal, and Lala Lajpat Rai. The aim of this movement was to promote the use of locally made goods and independence from imports, which mostly involved handlooms. So this movement had also contributed in a big way, very significantly, in freedom of our country from the British rule. So this is very important, that if you see the example of a small neighboring country of ours, Bangladesh, where so many women weavers are involved in their cotton and jute industry. Bangladesh is a big producer of jute, and they are they're exporting their products to the other places, to the most developed countries. You'll find, cotton shirts and saris made in Bangladesh. And our country has even more rich and a very, very diverse cultural heritage. And that can be very well used for promoting handloom products. And as you said, the climate of our country, in so many parts of our country, it requires that we use cotton products, and synthetic products are not at all good for our country's climate. And handloom products are the ones which are environment friendly. So this is a big chain which can be also exploited economically, and not only by providing clothing sustainable, is environment friendly, skin friendly, health friendly, and economical.
Our weavers and other artisans who are associated with the handloom industry still face a lot of hardships in carrying out their livelihoods. Like you mentioned, that this sector is still, to date, is still to a large extent unorganized. Then they also face things like rising prices of raw material, lack of infrastructural facilities, or lack of direct access to markets. These are some of the problems that the artisans face. What are the steps that are needed to address these issues, and how can it be done?
Anubhaji, I'll refer to what the Prime Minister said in the morning, because he said that he urged people to their commitment to popularize local products on this day, National Handloom Day. And Prime Minister said that India's vibrant handlooms exemplify the country's diversity, and the government's endeavor is to give wings to the aspirations of children of those associated with handlooms and handicrafts. And Prime Minister Modi said that to promote the handloom industry, the government is giving loans without any guarantee, providing raw material for the handloom weavers, at discounted rates. So I think that is a very, very good step on part of the government. Next comes how this is marketed. Now, if you see, each and every state has a department for promotion of handloom and MSMEs products, and one district, one product. And in the big metropolitan cities, most of the states have their own emporiums. But the problem remains that these artisans, these weavers get exploited by the middlemen. So the government has to evolve this mechanism of giving direct access to the weavers through digital means or through means which the government can source their products and sell at government emporiums. So the Prime Minister talked about the GEM portal, where he said that every small enterprise can sell their project on GEM directly, and presently 1.75 lakh MSMEs are associated with GEM portal. And Prime Minister also mentioned that the government is working to set up Ekta Mall across the country to increase the sale of handicraft products of all other states. And through this one district, one product initiative, unique products of different districts will also be promoted. So I think that is the step which is needed during such times where handloom sector can be pushed. And e-portal of Bharatiya Vastra Evam Shilp Kosh, a repository of textiles and crafts, has also been developed by National Institute of Fashion Technology, NIFT, of our country. So that I think these initiatives will go a long way. And if you want to improve the lot of the economic condition of our weavers and artisans who are working in this field, then we have to take care of not only availability of raw material, but also the finished product, how it is accessed. These days, digital marketing through e-portals, e-commerce sites is also very much in vogue. So the weavers and these artisans have to be trained, have to be taught the ways to access the market, not only in India, but through e-commerce on a worldwide platform where they can make their presence felt and get a good remuneration for their products.
Now, you've been mentioning the Prime Minister, of course, like you mentioned today, participated in the Handloom Day celebrations. He launched, like you just said, that he launched an e-portal. And he also said that the slogan, Vocal for Local, has now become a mass movement. So the government's focus on schemes like Skilling India, the slogan like Vocal for Local, in what way can these contribute to the handloom sector? And also, how can the handloom sector contribute to PM Modi's dream of an Atmanirbhar Bharat and schemes such as Make in India?
Make in India and self-reliance, these are the flagship schemes of our government. And handloom sector is one where you don't require very high technology. If you see how our sector developed, how we developed self-reliance during COVID times, our country was not able to produce the suites which were required by the medical professionals by the doctor to go into the wards. Production started during that, became self-reliant in that field. So similarly, the handloom sector where not very high technology is required, not very highly complex and complicated machinery and technologies are required, where only the use of skilled hands is the most important thing which had to take forward this sector. Our artisans, if our weavers can, keep pace with the, emerging trends, not only domestically but internationally, I think they will come up with very good products which can find a market on not only in India but on a global platform.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, Mr. Vinay Kumar.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on National Handloom Day, major initiatives and schemes for handloom sector. The participants were Vinay Kumar, political analyst, and Anubha Rohatgi, anchor. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on Air. This program is also available on our YouTube channel News on Air Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsttalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 928-909-4044.